Hello everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. Yes, I sound worse than I did yesterday, but I'm feeling better for the most part. We're feeling better. Wasn't Portugal there last time? I feel like they were there last time. Welcome everybody, welcome all to the random placement mod. Yes, I wanted to see somebody different win, and because of the 1.5.2 update, the mods I did have planned to play today are not fucking working. So, we're going to go to one that actually somehow is up to date and is apparently working, I hope. Which is the random placement mod, which is a fan favorite anyway. A lot of people love this one because it's not your usual winners and losers. It can be literally anybody. I mean, our major players like, pardon me, goodness. Our major players like Germany and Russia, I don't even see them. Oh, there's Germany sitting around in Turkey. It's actually not a bad spot. It's not a bad start spot, to be totally fair. I have absolutely no idea where the Russians are. No friggin' idea. They in Paraguay. South Africa actually has part of South Africa, too. They almost go to Cape Town, but not quite. Luxembourg's got a pretty nice chunk. It's probably the most valuable part of Africa, if I'm honest. Italy's doing nice over here with some pretty valuable land in China. We have some interesting players going on in there. We have, who the fuck are you? Oh, Yemen. We have Yemen on this random island. Great. I'm so happy about that. Well, where the Russians are, I'm not sure. There's the U.S. Oh, there they are. They're in Florida and Georgia and South Carolina and North Carolina. Okay, so they could be a major player going on in North America. It's possible. There's some more stronger states. Minchuko and Austrian Soviet Republic is actually probably in a better position to take everything. Yeah, definitely are. Before we start this off, I also want to say there's a straw poll in the description. I'll also comment with the link. Please vote in it, what it will do, because the BC, like me and all states independent playing as Nova Scotia or British Columbia, is dead tied. So I'm going to put it to a vote and leave it till Tuesday, and then Tuesday, the winner I will play, and that will be the next video out. Oh, just so you know, on Tuesday or Wednesday. So please vote for that, and let me know what you want to see. Now, I have it set to 3 months, of course, because these poor bastards don't have units for until then. So I'm gonna let it play, and then I'll see you once the 3 months is up. And here we go. All the wars. That was a lot of wars instantly there. I just want to say, Liberia is in a good spot in this game. They've got a lot of factories. They've got a decent amount of units. Liberia, I think, has a good shot here. So for all of you Liberian fans out there, there you go. Costa Rica's already dead. Rest in peace, our first death. We've got the Germans on revolutionary Cuba, who don't look too healthy there. They're squished between constitutional Uruguay and the Germans. The Germans could actually pull it a win here. I just want to point that out. The Germans have 21 factories. They already have a good, decent, small army going on. So yeah, they could actually win this. I don't know where the Cubans' capital is, though. It's a weird spot, Cuba, to have your shit. I don't know where your capital is. It's very weird. It's like the Latvians. They own Crete, but where are they really? Oh, they're in, never mind. So Shanxi was annexed by Nepal. Turkey, nationalist Greece is on Yemen. Uruguay is going to war with Canada. These are wars you don't see very often. Portugal on who was that? Malaysia? Oh, I see. There they are. Yunnan's got this weird chunk there, which is very strange. Germany is going against the Uruguay, while the Canadians give them some actual trouble, which is interesting. Oh, they got annexed out. So the problem is you don't really know where anybody is. You know, the Argentinian League is at war with the Poles. I don't know how that's really going to go for the Argentinian League. The Polish have a lot of units. Oh, and the Italians are on their other border. And Spain, who has just this huge chunk of Indochina is also on their southern border, so it's not going to go well. The battle for India is underway. Russia is dead. Russia is gone. Manchukuo killed them. They brutally murdered them. Rest in peace, one of our major players, for sure. Romania is on Guatemala. Latvia is declared war on Romania, which is here. So the Latvians are Iberian right now. They actually have a decent military going on to reform the Iberian Peninsula. So good for them, good for them. The Guangxi clique is getting sandwiched between Colombia and the Central American Republic. I don't know if they'll last. They keep seemingly retaking capitals and moving, and I don't even know what's going on anymore. There's really heavy fighting. We've got Folklimet, which is the Swedish faction. Oh, Nepal just died. Oh, Liberia just ate Nepal. Good lord. We don't have a lot of small nations this time around. Usually Europe is full of a lot of small nations. A lot of big players going on. Like, this is an anybody takes kind of game right now. But yeah, no, Liberia just kind of ate Nepal with Siam. Who are they at war with now? Who the fuck? Oh, Brazil. Oh, okay. So Brazil's at war with Albania. So Liberia's also with them as well, looking to grab some extra stuff. Oh my. The Argentinian League was just destroyed by the Poles. And the third Guangxi clique was finally annexed by the Colombians in France. Bhutan declared war on Albania, and so did the Liberians by the looks of it. Jesus Christ. The Czechoslovak Union was just annexed. That was a big one. The battle for India now is between the Federal Republic of Ethiopia and the United Cantons, really. Bolivia's got some really gross borders going on in there, too. Like, really disgusting border porn going on. Don't look at that. Turn away. Just turn away. It's not worth looking at. Oh, it's so gross. We've got the Danish warring the... Where the fuck? Oh, the Peruvians are in the Peloponnese region. The Germans are doing quite well. They're still at war with Uruguay, who just will not give in to the Canadians, which is interesting. I love how Turkey is right there. Like, they're itching to take back their shit, you know? Oh, the Turks are at war with the Canadians now. That's very interesting. So the Canadians are at war with what's left of Uruguay, which is honestly not much. I don't even know where their capital's at right now. I don't even know if they have one. They're gonna capitulate sooner than later, though. And then the Canadians are also at war with the Turks. So that's not good. That Uruguay unit could literally walk into the Canadian capital right now. Oh, Albania. So the Peruvians are gone. So now the Danes are going into that Albanian conflict. The Liberians have been kind of kicked out of it. Bhutan's cut them off of actually getting into Albania at all, which is kind of annoying. Greece and Italy are now at war for control of northern China, Korea, and sections of Siberian coast, which is actually quite valuable coastline, to be fair. The Italians, though, are still fighting the Philippines down south, so you just never know what's going to go on. The Germans just declared war on the Canadians, so rip Canada. That's a darn shame. The Germans are looking at just reforming Turkey under the German flag. I wonder if the Turks are actually going to put up with that or not. Is Uruguay still not dead? Honestly, where the fuck are they even at anymore? Where's their capital? Where do they reside? I don't even know where they reside at the moment. They just kind of exist in limbo, more or less. I think if the Turks should declare war on them and just take these last two pockets, would probably capitulate them, honestly. Good God. So the Canadians now are going to get smothered by the Germans. The Hungarians are attacking Luxembourg right now. They're doing a decent job. I mean, they've got some troops and stuff. I don't know why they're guarding there and they're not, you know, forcing into Luxembourg right now. But hey, to each their own, I suppose. Luxembourg is destroying Honduras. Rest in peace, Honduras, very soon. I think Paraguay is at war with the South Africans. No, they're not. Yes, they are? They are, okay. I was like, I'm very confused. Who's at war with who now? Danes have declared war on the... So the Albanians are dead. The Danes are at war with the Germans now. So we could say the Danish actually get revenge, because usually what happens is the first thing the Germans go after is Luxembourg, and the second thing they go after is Denmark. So the Danes might actually get some revenge going on here for all those capitulations that the Germans have made them suffer through. Liberia is attacking Siam right now for control of the Baltic region and the Baltic Sea, with the exception of Portugal, of course. Portugal's got a big chunk of that. Portugal still can't take out Malaysia, which is kind of disappointing. I'm not really sure where Malaysia's hanging out. Manchukuo declared war on Japan. That's more normal. Australia has declared war on the French Commune. That is not as normal. What's going on here? So the Chinese Republic is at war with who? Manchukuo. Okay. The Austrians are not at war with Manchukuo. I don't know who they're at war with. Venezuela's been annexed. They're at war with the Chinese Republic as well. The Chinese Republic doesn't seem to have a friggin' capital worth a damn. Oh, there it is. What the fuck? Why is it there? Uruguay's dead. Good. What the hell? Why is it on like the very end of the of those islands? I know they start with an A. I know what the spelling is, but I really don't know how to pronounce it. Why? What the fuck? What the fuck? That's so stupid. Nobody's gonna get there. It's just never gonna end. Oh my god, I cannot do that. Poles declared war on the cantons. Ooh, the Poles really want a piece of the Indian pie. Lithuania declared and Ethiopia declared war on Hungary. Oh, Norway just declared war on Turkey. That'll be an interesting war. It looks like Bhutan is at war with Siam now as well, which isn't going to be good for Siam. They weren't doing all that great against Liberia to begin with. Liberia is strong, everybody. Liberia very strong. They're doing very well. I'm very happy for them. What are they sitting at for 32 divisions? That's pretty decent. I really don't know who would challenge them yet. 24. The Poles are pretty good. 25. I think Liberia is actually might be one of the strongest nations. The Danes could beat them. No. 22. The Germans have... They're like 18. The Danes are actually getting pushed back, which is a bit disappointing. Oh, they could surround these divisions. Yeah, no, take that. Just take that one there. No, move south, you fucking idiot. Oh, you idiots. You could have surrounded, like, a huge chunk of their military. God damn you, Denmark. Oh, man. Turkey's getting eaten alive. The Norwegians are actually pretty strong, too. 18 divisions. So Liberia so far has the most divisions that I've seen. The Italians don't really have that many. 22. Spanish are pretty strong, though. But they only have 18. I'm surprised. I'm really shocked that none of them can take out the goddamn Philippines. The Italians have had to move their focus towards the Greeks, because the Greeks actually pose a threat. Especially considering they just... Oh, Siam just got annexed. Yeah, Liberia just took a good chunk of... Liberia has a lot of very, very valuable European land. Like, this is really good land to have and own. Who are they chunking out now? Oh, they're killing the Swedes. So they're going after even more valuable land in northern Hungary and parts of the Balkans. So that's pretty damn smart. The Germans and the Danes are going to be in a long war. Neither of them seem to be able to push against the other, which is bad for both of them. Because if they're in a war like that, all of their equipment's going to go into their existing units. They're not going to be able to build up an army. And they're going to get overwhelmed later on. Ethiopia is actually looking pretty good. 15 divisions. They're invading Hungary pretty steadily. Which is good news for Luxembourg. They don't have to worry about them anymore. I mean, they're fully invading them anyway. But still, they don't have to worry as much anymore. Because, I mean, they did before, but not so much now. Colombia is being invaded by the Latvians. The Latvians could put up a... they have 17 divisions. They could put up a good fight. I'm surprised the Colombians haven't done as well, considering they were given basically all of France. I figured they would have done better, and the Free Indians actually have lasted longer than I expected them to. I expected these guys to murder them first, but I guess they can't really take out the Swedes. The Swedes have actually pushed them. So if the Liberians could cut the Swedes off down in here, That's going to be bad for them, because then they've only got that one port in Venice, which they're already seemingly being pushed back from. Yeah, the Liberians are doing generally well against them, but they are putting up a bit of a fight. 19 divisions, so yeah, they're going to put up a bit of a fight. The Portuguese are just fucking awful. They can't break that line with 23 divisions. Like, it's just kind of sad at this point. Oh, Malaysia's capital's in northern England, so the Yugoslavs are not at war with them. Why are you not at war? Who are you at war with? Iran and Guatemala. Oh, right, Iran, they had this. And Guatemala has somewhere else. Where did they run to? That's what I want to know. Ecuadorian Authority looks like it's going to take South America, which is good, because at least it goes to a South American country. Lithuania, didn't they win last time or the time before? I don't remember. They did really well, though, at one point. Good for them. Manchukuo is actually slowly pushing into the Chinese Republic, and Free Ireland cannot get into Vancouver Island, no matter how much they try. It's just sad. Eventually, they're just going to be killed off by somebody else. Ooh, the Dutch Reich has declared war on Guatemala. The Dutch Reich, well, they have an island there, but I'm not sure where they're at otherwise. The only problem with this mod is fucking anybody can be anywhere. Oh, there they are. There they are. Oh, and they're in the Philippines, which is a mess. Absolute mess. Oh, that's where Iran went. Oh, I see. Hungary was annexed. Oh, okay. Goodbye, Hungary. The Ethiopians gain a bunch of land. The Luxembourgs gain a bunch of very valuable ports and stuff like that. That was very valuable for both of them. Now the Luxembourg is against the British Empire, who has formed. I feel bad for the Brits there. Grand Colombia was annexed, and now Free India and the Latvians are at war. So Latvians are about to gain both Spain and France. We've seen from the past that the French were able to pull out an actual win with that. We'll see if the Latvians can capitalize on that as well. Portugal finally declared war on somebody fucking else. So they're war with the Norwegians now. Which hopefully they can get there fast enough before Bhutan takes it over. Bhutan is actually pretty strong too. They're 20 divisions. Liberia still seems to be the strongest so far with 38. That I've seen at least. I hope the Liberians don't go after the Danes next. I hope they keep this war going. I hope the Turks maybe declare war on the Germans. So the Turks were looking pretty weak for a while. They're now at 16 divisions, but and I think the 17 for the Germans. But you would force the Germans into a two-front. If you can force the Germans into a two-front war, they're not going to be able to defend against the Danes. Or possibly even the Turks. So it would be in both of their interests to, you know, yeah, you know. But the Swedes are about to fall. I want to see who Liberia goes against next. Kind of curious to see who they're gonna pick on. Malaysia declared war. Santo Domingo is annexed. Oh, dang. They're now at war with the Yugoslavs. So Malaysia looks like it's going to conquer all of England, which is interesting. Who owns this? Free Democratic People of Manchukuo. Are you fucking kidding me? Is that really where your capital is, Manchukuo? Oh, not that one. Never mind. Is that all they have? I feel bad if that's all they have. It's pretty shitty. So Iraq has basically conquered... Oh, Liberia has that. That's funny. Iraq has conquered Japan, which is good. The Italians are crumbling next to the Greek invasion. So the Greeks are about to gain a bunch of really good land, too. We'll see how that works out for them, but... Oh, shit, okay. No more. And the Liberians now are at war with Bhutan. Oh, that's going to be pretty valuable. Especially once the Norwegians fall. They'll get a lot of land out of that if the Liberians can pull off a win there. The Danes are still trying to push the Germans back. They are winning on all fronts against the Germans. Oh, the Norwegians just lost their capital. They moved. They're able to lose their other capital. They're pretty darn close to capitulating. It's like revolutionary Cuba. Where did they end up? They're probably over here somewhere, aren't they? Oh, hey, Japan. Oh, Australia is very close to, you know, Australia. Ooh, everybody's just declaring war on Norway. What's left of Norway? Cantons fell to the Poles. So the Poles are actually pretty strong. 28 divisions. So they're catching up to Liberia. Liberia can have a long war. Polish Republic declared war on Turkey. Oh, Yugoslavia's just annexed. Oh, Portugal declared war on Bhutan. So Bhutan's got a two-front war to fight against a fairly strong Portugal and a very strong Liberia. Oh, that's bad. Oh my god, Dane, really? Guys, come on. Why is Istanbul over there? I don't understand what's going on. Why is it everything? Sophia's right there. That's not so... Oh my god, everything's fucked up. It's all fucked up. Moldova. This is Bucharest. I do believe. Odessa. Well, yeah, close enough. Everything's just so fucked up. Malaysia declared war on Turkey. How do you get that? What? How? How does that happen? I don't even understand how that happens. I don't get that at all. Luxembourg is on Ethiopia, though, which is an interesting one. That's a different conflict. Especially with Luxembourg, they still haven't killed the British yet. They're close. They just need to take one more, like, city or state. And the Brits will collapse. Ooh, Latvians are at war with the Central Americans. That's an interesting war. They're both pretty powerful. Although Central America hasn't really done that much, to be fair. 37 divisions, wow. Against 41. So Liberia now is not the strongest. Oh, never mind, they have 56. Never mind. I'm thinking like in the 40s and high 30s still, apparently. So we're seeing a very strong Liberia. Ooh, Liberia's surrounded a lot of Bhutan units there. They just surrounded two there. Where's Bhutan moved their capital to? I don't see it here. They have some land down there, but they didn't move their capital there. I'm not sure where they moved their capital to. They better not have some oh, they moved it into there. Okay. The Poles will kill them off eventually. They'll just declare war on them. That kind of sucks that they've got land in there, the Central Africans. They can't go and help their front line there. That's going to be could be a longer fight. I mean, there are a lot of Latvian units getting surrounded there. So it's becoming more even. Yeah, Bhutan's going to collapse. All these units are dead. They just lost too many units now. These guys here are surrounded. That guy is surrounded. It's gonna, yeah, this is gonna collapse. Once the Turks fall, the Polish will declare war on them and take that capital, guaranteed. The Greeks are still invading Italy. They're struggling, though. Italians are fighting back. The Philippines still exist, somehow. They have 7 divisions in this city. 7. They're really disorganized. Oh, 6 now. They're really disorganized, so eventually they are just going to fall. But it's just when. It's taken so long. As long as the Spanish can keep that pressure up, eventually they'll just all die. Just keeping that pressure up, that's the only thing. It's crazy, though, that they've lasted that long. They're down to 5. It's crazy. I can't believe they're still alive. It's a shame for Spain, because they're just caught up in this long war. They can't do anything else. And in the end, what is it really worth to them? A little bit of land, I suppose. Oh, the Danes have managed to push into Istanbul. Oh, sorry. I'm tired. They managed to push into Istanbul, which is pretty good. They just haven't pushed past it, which is not so good. Push past it. Take them over. Probably Spain declared war on Italy. Oh, shit, okay. Philippines fell, now the Spanish want a piece of Italy, so that's gonna... It's pretty much doomed Italy. Because they had a chance. They had managed to kind of stall the Greeks, but they won't have a chance on a 2-front now. They're gonna get smushed. The Turks are putting up a good fight against the Polish, though. I'm surprised. That's why Bhutan just collapsed. Liberia is at war with Turkey now. So that's not good for the Germans, I don't think. I think the Liberians could go after them next after the Turks fall. So the Turkish front line there has got to make a quick decision. Oh, the Portuguese are also invading. Ooh. It's not good. It's really not good. The Ethiopians have pushed into Africa now, too. So the British Empire still exists. They've moved their capital to Rio de Oro, and they're fighting back against Luxembourg, because Luxembourg's starting to collapse under the Ethiopians. I also like to point out that Mongolia is at war with Paraguay here. Well, this war has been going on for goddamn ever. Like, literally forever. I mean, same with Manchukuo. They've been at war with the Chinese forever. So it's kind of embarrassing that they still are. Same with Free Ireland. Still at war with Indonesia here. Cannot get over to the island at all. Very embarrassing. Have the Latvians? Nope. So the Central American capital still holds. It's surrounded now, but it still holds. The Latvians really do have the upper hand here, but they're not going down. Central Americans are not going down without a fight. That is for damn well sure. The Turks have, like, fully collapsed now. Is that the Portuguese? How did they get in there? Did they naval invade the Crimea? It's impressive, if that's the case. It's very impressive. I want to see how this peace deal goes. Liberia jumped in, but they've done the most work. Oh, goodness. Go for a nap. Yeah, they must have naval invaded. They got one guy. He's doing really good, though. That one guy. Very proud of him. He's pushed them completely out of the Crimea. Wow. That's fucking hilarious. Spain declared war on Greece. Really? I figured Greece would be the stronger of the two. 43. Well, they're fairly even. It could go either way. Like, this is a war that literally could go any direction at all. Did Mosulland fall? Oh, it did. Where did they move their capital to? Bosnia, okay. So they're still hanging on, but they're definitely losing now. So they've lost this northern bit of Germany. They're starting to kind of slowly collapse. Polish declared war on the Germans. Turkey is annexed. Multiple other people, though, declared war on Poland. So I don't know whether the Polish are going to be able to consolidate that German war. Unless the Danes take this chance to invade, which they fucking should. Instead of just sitting there. Oh, the Brits did fall before the Luxembourgians. Luxemburgers? Yeah, Luxemburgers. Before they fell. So they managed to kill the Brits off. The Germans could actually get a good chunk of land out of this if the Polish do fall to Portugal. And who else was it that declared war on them? Malaysia. Oh, fuck them. Who cares? Maximus Portugal could give them some problems. Liberia decided to go to war with the Central Americans while they're weak, and I don't fucking blame them one bit. Because they'll be able to, yeah, they've already crushed through Bosnia. That was a good move. That was a really good move. All I gotta do is get Transylvania here. Just gotta break that line. I got a good amount of defenders in there. Oh, and they died. Liberia declared war on the Polish. Oh, shit. Liberia took that many states. Who did the Latvians go to war with? Chinese Republic, Romania, New Zealand. That's who they're at war with. You're at war with the Chinese. Or over here. Okay, whatever. Take their little bit of Italian land. It's good land. I guess it's good land. So yeah, we've got Liberia now on Poland. Which means hopefully Liberia will just take all this land so the Germans don't get it. Which would be good, because then the Germans can't strengthen up. Again, the Danes should really be capitalizing on this. You know? Apparently the Latvians are just going to declare war on everybody that's down this fucking hole. Makes no damn sense. They'll declare war on Portugal next, you watch, although they're already bordered with Portugal. If they declare war on Portugal, that's good for Poland. Just saying. Portugal's going to have a hard time defending on the Latvian line. No, they declared war on the Germans. So they're going to take Rome from them. Oh, Ecuador declared war on the Lithuanians. So this is the final war for South America. Ecuador has it otherwise. So it's 32 on 22. Latvia's at war with Ethiopia. What? Why? Why? Where do you border them? What a dumb decision. It's such a dumb decision. Liberia, you really need to break through that line there to cut the Portuguese off. You gotta break all this too so the Germans don't get it. So the Spanish and the Greeks are still fighting. I really don't know who has more land there. Oh shit! They declared war on the Danes. They actually have land bordering them. But the Danes will probably get it before they can navally... Oh no, they have a bunch of troops on the border. Never mind. If they can beat the Danes and they'll go to war with the Germans, that'll be good for them. If they can get all that land, then they're going to usurp Liberia a little bit too, which it won't be good for them. We're still powerful. So 77, 81. Fairly even. Factory-wise, 65. 136 total, 66 military factories. 107 with 47. So they're pretty close. I mean, they're quite even on that whole front. I guess it depends whether they can actually beat the Danes. So they seem to be going on just a big war path. The bad thing is that this isn't unified here. If that was unified, they would flood that. They'd take the Danes, no problem. But they're not flooding it. Which is not good. Although the Germans could take advantage of this. Could definitely take advantage of that. For the time being, anyway. They create at least a bit of a buffer. It looks like they are. Somebody's pushing, and I don't think it's the Dutch. Oh no, it is the Dutch. Come on, Dutch. Take out the Germans. It's your last hope. Take the Germans, take all their shit. That could go either way. Poland has a long way to go before they die off. It's the only problem with that war is it's going to be a long one. They have a decent amount of divisions to defend themselves, and they have just a stupid amount of land. Greece is the same way. The Spanish are going to have a very hard time. It's going to be a long war. Although Luxembourg is close to getting its ass kicked. I wonder who they're going to go after that. Are they going to keep going into Africa, or are they going to not? It's the only question I have. They're going to go after South Africa, so they're going to continue going into Africa. Okay. Makes sense. Does make sense. I think the Danes have actually pushed. I think they had that. No, they didn't know. Never mind. It's not going to go anywhere, though. They're death stacked units there. There's 2 German divisions there that aren't doing very well. If the Germans don't reinforce that, they could push over that line. Take that 1 unit in there. Come on, go, go, go. No, they did it! They pushed past the line. They're into Germany, well, Turkey. Turkey's Germany. If they can keep that up, they could take them. So I think the Germans are the last one of who we've seen a winner of that's alive, besides the Chinese, like Manchukuo. We haven't seen, like, Manchukuo do anything, though. You know, like, outside of that. Oh, the actual battle's going on. Didn't think the Chinese had any frickin' units. God's sakes. I want to see if those Danes actually managed to consolidate that. They are winning again. They poured a lot of more units through. They really, really want it. It's just going to be a long, hard fight. And they've got to worry about that. So long as I can keep them at bay, it's the main thing. Build up some forts right on that line. They need to break the Germans here. The Germans have a good amount of units kicking around. They're not really using them, though. Doesn't make much sense. Oh, there's a little bit of Polish Republic there. The Liberians just like, fuck it. We're not even going to bother. The Greeks are pushing back against the Spanish. Oh, dang, there's a big hole there. Oh, wow. They've got a bunch of them surrounded. Oh, that's not good. For Spain, anyway. Spain declared that war. So, like, you'd expect them to win. Like, come on now, Spain, jeez. Fucking losers. God. Oh my god. It's freaking cold is killing me, I swear to god. I think I'm tired and I shouldn't be. So the Spanish are collapsing. The Polish are slowly getting there. Danes are slowly getting there. It's pretty much slowed down to the main, you know, big fight. So I think I'm going to pause it here, and I'll rejoin you when something interesting comes up. So what's happened? Liberia has annexed the Danish Union. The Latvians did get Greece out of it, so they weren't too bad. The Germans were killed by the Danes before Liberia intervened against them. The Spanish were killed by the Greeks, and the Polish were killed by the Portuguese and Liberians' invasion, and now Liberia and Portugal are at war with Greece for control from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. The Ethiopians declared war on Portugal and have taken some of the land that Portugal did hold here. I'm wondering if that's not going to be Liberia's next conquest, either Ethiopia or Portugal. And the Latvians have kind of just sat here, so they're running a little bit scared. There are 146 divisions. The Portuguese right now are at 151. and the Liberians are at a very, very strong 270. So Liberia is still very strong. And then, of course, 186 for the Ethiopians. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. The Latvians just declared war on Portugal. So the Latvians are going to invade through here into Portugal, or get invaded, possibly. But we'll see what will happen with that war. That'll be an interesting one to watch, because the Latvians can actually successfully invade Portugal. We could have an interesting situation on our hands there. Now, the Liberians against the Greeks is going to be a very interesting and long, long war as well, that I'm interested to see what will happen with. So I'm going to pause it again, and I will be back shortly. So the Greeks have fallen. The Greeks just died, mostly to Maximus Portugal, though some pieces to the Liberians. The Liberians just declared war on Maximus Portugal, who are also at war with the Latvian Republic. The Latvians just broke through that line, so they're actually breaking into southern Sweden. And the Liberians are probably going to have, if the Latvians can get into Sweden, the Liberians are going to have an easier time taking out Maximus Portugal. It's going to be an interesting war. Both of them are very, very tough, very big nations. Liberia right now is sitting at 331 divisions. Maximus Portugal is sitting at 164 divisions. So the Liberians almost double them up. And then you've got, of course, the Latvians over here who are warring them too. And the Latvians are sitting at, oh, fuck. There we go. Actually select them. The Latvians are sitting at a 141 division. So also a decent amount going against Maximus Portugal. So the Portuguese really aren't looking too good here overall. Now, this will give time for the Ethiopians to possibly build up, because a war is definitely coming their way. Most likely, Liberia will take out Maximus Portugal, then probably go after the Latvians, because they do have less units than the Ethiopians. But the Ethiopians have to prepare for that war with Liberia, because they could win it. It's possible. It's doable if they concentrate on military buildup now, while the Liberians are distracted with Portugal and possibly the Latvians after the fact. Because Liberia right now is the one to beat. Liberia is strong. I said it in the very start of this video that they were in a great position, and they had you know, basically everything to lose in the world at their fingertips, and I was entirely correct, apparently, because now they literally do have everything to lose, because they are the world's #1 powerhouse. In North America, we have Manchukuo. Surprising, actually. I thought the Austrians might be able to do it, but Manchukuo has done very, very well, and they're now at war with the Ecuadorian Authority. So that war is playing out right now in southern Mexico. As far as who's winning, who's losing, the Manchukuo have been pushed back. So Manchukuo did own up to about this point here, and they have been pushed back by the Ecuador Authority. They have 177 units. The Manchukuo, I should say. Ecuador is sitting at 123. So Ecuador is actually outnumbered here, but they seem to be a little bit on the tougher side. But we'll see how that plays out in Ecuador or Manchukuo's favor for you know, supreme ruling of North America and South America. But we will see. The real interesting fight goes on with Portugal, Liberia, and the Latvians. So yeah, it's going to be a be a bit of a shorter war by the looks of it. I'm surprised at how quickly the Portuguese are completely just degrading their line here in Scandinavia and parts of Russia. They're holding on better in in Asia, in China, mostly because a lot of their army was there to begin with fighting the Greeks. So I imagine they just took that and made a major front line. But the big problem they're going to have is definitely manning that front. The Liberians have enough troops probably to throw a whole line right down through, but the Portuguese probably don't have that many troops to do that with, especially fighting another front here with the Latvians, who are doing very well in their push into Sweden and Norway regions. So the capital of Sala is under threat very quickly. I'm guessing they're probably going to switch to a more defendable location than Sala, probably into Asia. I would say one of their better bets would be Vladivostok, definitely. That's a pretty well garrisoned area, well-defended area. Could be on the Korean Peninsula. Could even see it in parts of China like Shanghai, Nanjing, stuff like that. But we'll see what happens for sure. Who owns this? Oh, Guatemala's there. Okay. Do they even have any troops stationed there? They have a boat. I don't even know. Oh, they're at war with the Dutch. The Dutch actually have a lot of units. I'm surprised they're not going after them. But, hey, you do what you do. Where the fuck are they going? Really? You're trying to land there? Seems like a poor decision, but alright. Whatever. Oh yeah, the Romanians are retreated here. Bulgaria is here. Estonia, funnily enough, is Indonesia. The Confederate States, the United States of America, are at war with whoever the hell this is. Who is this? Oh, Costa Hermanas. Okay, they haven't taken out this area for some reason. But they want to naval invade there. Oh my god. The Pacific is just a goddamn mess. Oh my Jesus. What a friggin' clusterfuck, eh? But yeah, this war is probably going to last quite a little while. So Liberia and Latvia versus Maximalist Portugal. And then once the Portuguese fall, I figure the Liberians will go after the Latvians first, then the Ethiopians, and we can kind of see pretty early on who's going to win the final conflict. You'll be able to tell that one pretty quickly. The Ethiopians are ready. They have the front defended for the most part, but we'll see if they couple under the weight or not. If the Latvians can somehow pull out a win against the Liberians, I would be wholly shocked, as well as honestly quite entertained. I think that'd be an interesting change, but Liberia is looking pretty damn beefy right now. But we'll see what happens. You never know. And yeah, I will be back when something interesting happens. Welcome back, everybody. We are looking at Liberia, who is now huge. Huge. The poor Latvians only got a little chunk down here. I think that was it. That's all they got, which is kind of sad, but hey, it is what it is. The Liberians have since declared war on the Ethiopians. Big problem with the Ethiopians. Their capital is here. It's very close to being taken. Of course, they're going to retreat to another capital, but a big problem is if the Liberians are able to actually cut off the Ethiopians' retreat route into the Sinai and into Africa, if they decide to try to run away, a lot of these units are cut off. Now, yes, they have ports and stuff like that, but a lot of them just are not going to go to those ports, which means a lot of these units are just straight up going to die, which is kind of sad overall. And you can see Liberia is already pushing for ports like Bombay to isolate these other units to kill them off, so that they have less to contend with when they do eventually break into Africa, because the Ethiopians are not going to surrender losing just this land. They are not going to surrender until Africa is nearly fully taken. So, excuse me. The Latvians are also at war with the Ethiopians, but the problem with the Latvians, they have no land border. They could try to invade by sea, and they are doing some heavy air damage and stuff in northern Africa, especially Morocco and Algeria area, but they really don't have a good way to navally invade. The navies of all three of these nations are huge, so it's going to be kind of difficult. But yeah, we are seeing Liberia now make pretty major moves. They're moving in on the capital as well. It's being defended by only a few units left there. So we're seeing the Liberians move in. That's not to say the Ethiopians can't push back. The Portuguese did for quite some time. That's why it's 1947 right now. This war with Ethiopia has only been going on for maybe about 6 months. So the Portuguese war started back in like 1943 or something like that. So it's been quite a long time. A very long war. And the Ethiopian one is also going to be a very long war as well. There's going to be a very big fight once we get to the Suez here to break through into Africa. Once that breakthrough happens, it'll be a little bit easier on the Liberians, but they do have to make that breakthrough because there is only the 2-province move. They do also have to contend with the Ethiopians' very, very large, very capable military. It's going to take a lot of time and quite a few casualties. We can already see here We're on the Ethiopian side, yeah. So the Liberians have taken 3.5 mil. The Latvians have taken 2.6, but only 2 mil, of those is by Ethiopia, but still a good chunk of that. The rest of it we'll just ignore. The Ethiopians, which are right here, have taken 9.2 million casualties. Now, mind you, Liberia is only 5.5 mil of that, and the Latvians are not even 100K of that. The Iraqis are 3.3 mil, and I'll tell you why that is so high, because you're probably like, wow, where the fuck is Iraq to be able to, make that kind of damage? Well, Iraq is here in Japan. The Ethiopians owned and controlled, as you can see here with their ships, this island here and this island here. Now, the Iraqis are not at war with the Liberians, who have this island. They were only at war with the Ethiopians, so the only way they could attack is through this ferry area here. So what had happened is the Ethiopians, with their huge military, had backed that all up with like 20 divisions, and the Iraqis were throwing divisions at them. And the Iraqis were winning most of the time, but there's just too many units for them to break through. So that's why the Iraqis have such a large toll of themselves at 203,000. All of that is from Ethiopia, but the Ethiopians have a fuck ton from them, 3.3 mil. That would be why. So just to release any confusion of where that other 3 million casualties went, that's where they went. Now the Liberians are going to probably cut off the Ethiopians, not only at the Suez and the Sinai area, but they're also going to cut them off here near the Persian Gulf. So pretty darn close to Kuwait City. They're looking like they're spearheading that now, trying to cut them off as best they can. Because again, they can cut off all these units. A lot of these units are just going to end up getting killed. But again, as you can see here, the Ethiopians are not ready to give in yet, and they have been pushing back. So this is going to be a very long, very bloody conflict that we're going to be looking in on right now. So I'll be back when we have any kind of major turnaround. And here we have it, the final battle. The Ethiopians have fallen to the Liberians. Now the Liberians just have to get past the Latvian People's Republic, who is squished into Western Europe. Now, the Liberians have had pretty good gains right off the hop. They've pushed them almost entirely out of Sweden. They've pushed them entirely pretty much out of Greece at this point now too, as well as most of their small Balkan holdings. And Liberia only had the ends of the shoe here for Italy and have now managed to push up getting pretty close here to Naples and Rome, which is, excuse me, not good for the Latvians at all. This one will probably be a longer war just because the Latvians are, they do have a lot of units. They are pretty hefty. They're doing their best. They did capitulate Malaysia as well on the British Isles. So if the Latvians start really losing on this, I'm just going to end it because they're probably just going to retreat to Britain and it's never going to end. But if they start really losing this front, I'm probably just going to end up calling it. And they already are losing actually quite a little bit of land. They have some African holdings as well, which I don't think have any units in it, with the exception of this one, because the reason they have here is because they landed just outside of Freetown. But other than that, they don't have anything in their African holdings at all. Everything for them is in Europe. It's all held in Europe, and they've now the Peloponnese is the last little bit there of holdings, which means that this whole army group that it's been attacking Greece and the Balkans is going to come back up to this front to assist that front. They want to try and link up this Roman division here, these Italian divisions, so they don't get overwhelmed and kicked out, because if they do, that's going to give the Latvians a little bit more of an upper edge, because they'll have less troops fighting in different fronts, right? So the Liberians can at least just keep a hold off front there just to distract some Latvian divisions. It's going to help them. Now, division-wise, Liberia outnumbers them like a lot. So 1.5k total units for the Liberians right now, whereas the Latvians, while they haven't really been in any kind of big-scale war, are only at 409, and they actually had more than that, so some of them have died. So it's not looking great for the Latvians, considering they're outnumbered about 2.5 to 1. So that's not good for them. In North America, this war has been going on for literally ever. I mean, it's 1951, so the Ethiopian War is already 4 years old before it ended. But this war has been going on for at least 6-7 years, and Manchukuo is starting to feel the big pinch, start to feel some collapsing going on. They don't have the defensive edge they did in most of Mexico, and they're starting to really lose this front. But casualties from this war are insane. So the Ecuadorian Authority has lost 3.45 million men, whereas Manchukuo has lost almost 13 million men, which is insane. That's an insane amount of men to be lost. And Malaysia, of course, has lost a lot, but that's all to the Latvians before they pretty much wiped them off the map. The Malaysians still exist. They have some holdings in Indonesia, I do believe, and some other random areas. But yeah, it's not looking good for Manchukuo right now. I think we'd pretty much call it for the Ecuadorian Authority on the North American continent at this point, because Manchukuo just really can't come back. They only have 58 divisions. Ecuador is sitting at 400, so the fact that they're even defending as well as they are right now is actually quite a feat. But yeah, you can see that line, that front is moving fairly swiftly now in favor of the Ecuadorian Authority, so it's a darn shame, you know, darn shame. Excuse me. But the Latvian People's Republic are definitely not going to go down without a fight. I don't think they're going to give up any land in this section to the Liberians. I don't think the Liberians are dumb enough to try and take it either. I think they'd be best just to keep up a defensive here rather than anything else, and throw everything they got at that front. So they're still fighting in Africa a little bit, but once they take out these strongholds, they can take pretty much everything out of Africa and worry more so on the main front line in Europe, because that is really where they need to kind of take their worries for sure, especially considering they could lose. I mean, yes, they have a lot more divisions, but how well equipped are those divisions, honestly? And how good are those divisions? They're generally fairly well equipped, but they're fairly unorganized. The Latvians have a better organization overall, but it's hard to say where this war could actually head. It could go in any direction. The Latvians could pull off a weird, rare win, but the Liberians are most likely just going to fight hard and fast and kind of just go into a war of attrition. Because, I mean, 20 million troops for them, 700,000 for the Latvians. It's kind of one-sided there if they go into a war of attrition, but we'll see how that front actually moves with the next little bit. So you might be wondering why I'm looking at this and not, you know, what I should be looking at. And that's because it crashes and literally will not load up that save anymore at all. So the Latvians had were pushed back to just about Paris before it crashed. So the Liberians are going to win. So Liberia strong, everybody. My prediction at the very beginning was correct. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.